Star Citizen have released a really long sprint report going over a load of development, what's going on beyond the next major patch and CitizenCon. So let's summarise that as it covers ship updates to gadget plans. Cloud Imperium have been working on locked crates as part of lootable items. Some you're going to need to work out the code to actually open. Others you might need a cutting tool or explosive device or open in another way. These will add more interest to areas and reward you when you find and open them. Laser trip mines are also receiving work. In the shorter term, they're going to help make wrecks and points of interest more interesting and dangerous. You can shoot these laser mines to blow them up or send a crewmate in first. Crates will be destructible in the future too, so obviously maybe you don't want to set off trip mines, or maybe you will want to use a crate to blow up the trip mines. You'll be able to use other objects to detonate trip mines, and chain reactions might occur. In the future, we're going to be able to place our own too. The UI team have moved the ASOP terminals, so the ship spawn terminals, over to use the building block system. It allows for better styling, functionality, and easier to fix bugs and get rid of lots of the bugs that the Flash system previously had. It also runs faster than Flash, and anytime they can get any form of performance increase and improvement, they should go for it. There are disconnections screen states that are being used in Squadron 42 that they've built out. It's minor, but it adds up. We'll probably see these used in capital ships and other ships when we lose power to certain systems and things like that. Mining gadgets have been receiving work, and we've seen some of the updated UIs made for them. These gadgets are going to be placed by hand on asteroids to help with mining, and that can be help with yield, that can be help to make them easier to mine. There will be some tactile gameplay associated with them too, it seems, and multiple reasons to use them. They are looking at making some modular options for NPCs and shop vendor uniforms to help flesh out the universe, but also make it so they can have some variety there without sort of damaging a brand. Theta Geo assets have been worked on as well, so for armor, this means that you might have a set or multiple parts of armor that work together. So if you have a torso and the helmet on, a new piece of armor or a new piece of asset might appear to connect that up. So you might have a pipe that goes from a torso to a face mask if you have the right armor and helmet together. This might help visualize additional bonuses for certain armor sets working together, but in others it might just look cool. It can be used for other visual flair as well, and they showed off a cowl that appears when you have the helmet and torso from the new RRS Light Specialist armor. There will be more on that armor, it seems, at CitizenCon, and when we see the update for CitizenCon later today at time of recording, and where we see the schedule. We'll cover the schedule as soon as we have it. I do quite like the look of this armor, but I'm not a fan of the colors, but maybe we'll see lots of other color variants. Also, with the Theta Geo, I'd still like to choose whether I get that additional asset when equipping my armor. Maybe I don't want the cowl. Maybe I want to have it without the cowl. Do you see what I mean? Now for something completely different. They have a new eject camera for ejecting out of ships. Whee! I'm not sure in what situation this will be used. Like, can you turn it on and off? Can you press a button to see it? They've worked on intoxication and how it affects ship operation. You will have to fight against the inputs being pulled around, and there's visual blur, which is different from when they last showed this. It looks quite low res now when you're drunk. I do wonder how often you'll be drunk or overdosed. I suppose if you are injured and you've just got back up and you need to go defend your ship in a turret or whatever. They completed a sprint on the Ares Starfighter, detailing out all of the component bays, as well as completing a pass on its stocky landing gear. The exterior of the Iron and Inferno is looking great here, though. It's still a work in progress, so they will look better before they arrive. And I am much excited about the Ares Starfighter. Hopefully they'll make the initial release of 3.15. Big guns, big floating size 7 guns in space. I have the Ion, and Zin has the Inferno. Tell me which one you prefer the most in the comments below, not of me and Zin, out of the Ares, Ion and Inferno. The Redeemer is the first ship to get the new glow shader, apparently, for pretty more efficient glows and better performance gains. This ship's also going through a load of its final polish and little tweaks before it goes live. So they've been working on the interior of the ship, and they're working out exactly what they can tweak to sort of like get it into its best optimal state. They also experimented with some interior motion for some of the parts of the ship, though it's uncertain what will make it and what won't, because some people loved it, some people hated it. Sort of like it looks like a beating heart of the ship almost here. It's a bit weird, it's a bit throbby. I think I like it, but is it going to be super noisy? I do like extra detail. Maybe it's a bit too much. This ship has been long anticipated, and I hope it is worth the wait, though. The Drake Vulture is going through its grey box phase, planning to come to the game in 2022, along with ship-based salvage, the last we heard as well. The Hull A is in its white box phase. This is the entry-level cargo ship. They had to tweak its concepts a little due to metric and game changes since the initial plans for the ship. It's similar to a Prospector in its interior now, at least in size, when collapsed. You have a cockpit up front, a component and connecting area behind that, an airlock, and in the rear of the front half of the ship, a habitation area with bed. They will be looking at reducing strut size in the cockpit too in the future as well. They are working out bathroom space in general for NPCs in the ship, because, you know, NPCs apparently need a little bit of extra room to use the facilities when compared to players. The Hull A is going to be able to land both in its collapse mode and expanded fully laden modes. The Hull C won't be able to land when fully laden, but it should be able to dock with space stations. The Hull C is getting updated to the modern vehicle standards at the moment. Its lights, materials, and exterior all getting updates here. They added VTOL thrusters as well. The interior is getting the same treatment. It's being brought up to standard. It's cool. I'm looking forward to it. I want the Hull C in game. I think it's really important. Port Olisar is moving, so it's closer aligned to Horizon, like other space stations next to planets and their landing zones. So one day, Port Olisar is supposed to be being replaced as its legacy station, and I really hope that it is treated well before it goes. Like, it needs to explain. Something magical needs to happen to it. It needs to... Maybe it will become the first scrap site in game. Lol, lol, lol. But yeah, they need to have space stations standardized in certain areas with the same facilities, and obviously all the other stations in game have that, and Port Olisar is an old legacy station, which still has problems with its defense and that sort of stuff as well. Port Olisar is hugely camped by people doing PvP and sometimes trolling because they can fire, or at least used to be able to fire outside of the sort of defense area into the zone, and Port Olisar in general just isn't very well defended. They are adding missile turrets and hangars and things like that as well, so you're going to see less in the way of maybe entirely removed landing pads, and it more become hangars on stations. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what happens with that in the future. But yeah, that was it for the sprint report this time. What did you think? Are you looking forward to the Ares and Redeemer? Will they both make the 3.15 initial release in your opinion? When do you think we'll see 3.15 live? When will Port Olisar get replaced? What loot do you hope to find in crates? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Some people say I shill for NordVPN, but listen to some of these comments that I just made up. I've never fed the love of a woman before, but then I got NordVPN, and that didn't matter. Doctor said I'd never walk again, but then I got NordVPN. Now I've been running marathons. Also, I got robot legs around the same time. They might have helped somewhat too. I was a tone-deaf pirate, but after getting NordVPN, I'm able to play the saxophone. Go on, Zin, try and animate all of this. Click the links below to get NordVPN. It might lead you to a more fulfilling life, but more likely, it will just help protect you from the terrors of the internet. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For September, it's for another Mercury Star Runner. I love that ship. It's a great way to try a huge portion of Star Citizen's gameplay. If you want a chance of winning that, just comment on any of my videos made during the month. If you'd like to further support the channel, be sure to check out that join button underneath my videos. There's also links to my Patreon, which also helps loads as well, direct donations, and just commenting, subscribing, liking, all that sort of jazz goes a huge way to helping the channel. Thank you so much for watching, guys. You take care, and I hope to see you in the verse.